Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. It looks like the much anticipated rubber match between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev is kind of on the back burner now because Beterbiev, although he wants that third fight, he lost the last one, won the first. He's actually scheduled now to face Deon Nicholson, a sort of, would you call him lightly regarded? He certainly isn't particularly well known. He's 34 years old, Nicholson, 22 wins with 18 KOs, one defeat, which was a stoppage defeat in 3 rounds back in 2021 against another undefeated fighter. Never heard of the fight, a guy called Apochi. Don't know much about him, but if you look at Nicholson's resume, he doesn't have, there aren't a lot of killers on there, put it that way. And the guy he lost to was in his 30s and Nigerian fella. He'd really fought no one either, and since then he's lost 3 fights all on point. So it doesn't really bode well in terms of resume for taking on Beterbiev, who, despite being 40 now and having been a light heavyweight for all his career, his professional career, despite boxing at heavyweight, not super heavyweight, but heavyweight in the amateurs, how he makes 175, I don't know. But he's taken on Nicholson. Nicholson, I suppose, Deon Nicholson, Quinton ranking, he beat him on points. He ain't a bad gatekeeper type. He did beat a guy, Devontae Williams, stopped him in 4 rounds in his last fight. Williams had a decent record, but yeah, he's going to be a rank outsider, is Deon Nicholson, to put it mildly. Now, of course, Beterbiev has looked, he's beginning to look a little bit his age, I think. Maybe that the constant making of the 175 limit is taking its toll. 40 years of age, still boiling himself down to 175. I mean, he leads the most disciplined of lives. He's a consummate professional, but eventually your body just outgrows certain weights. It's just unavoidable. And it might be that, theoretically, it could be that he's there for the taking. You just don't know. Some fighters do get old overnight. But nevertheless, he will start as an absolute favourite against Deon Nicholson. But can he get up for it? Can he get motivated? Is he going to be so disappointed at not having the third Bivol fight yet that he sort of overlooks Deon Nicholson? There's always that chance. I'm someone who vividly remembers, Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson, so plus other upsets like Lloyd Hunnigan beating Don Curry was a big one. And, nothing would surprise me in boxing. Nothing. I think when you get to my age and you've seen a lot of boxing and seen a lot of upsets, nothing would surprise me. But, I would expect Beterbiev to win this, as I think most people would. But Beterbiev is not happy with Bivol. And he said, our next fight, meaning the trilogy match, the rubber match with Bivol, was supposed to be in Russia. We were offered great conditions, which were almost impossible to refuse. For my part, I did everything to make the third fight happen, but my opponent chose the path of retreat again. I've waited long enough, and I don't intend to wait any longer. Sitting around doing nothing while someone else is resting is too much. See you on November the 22nd in Riyadh. I'm continuing my journey no matter what. And this will be it's a Riyadh season card, November the 22nd. Big money, for Beterbiev, and he deserves it. I don't begrudge him at all. And also Deon Nicholson, you would imagine, would be getting a pretty decent paycheck. He is 34, which is a mere babe compared to Beterbiev, but 34, of course, no spring chicken in boxing terms. Not ancient, but not young. He'll probably get a decent paycheck as well. So, it's all good. But I've got to be honest, I am disappointed that the third Bivol fight hasn't happened, because those first 2 fights were just exemplary examples of how 2 fighters with very contrasting styles, who are very, very good at what they do, come together and the styles gel, and you get this perfect blend of box fighting. So it's exciting. There's lots of punches exchanged. The pendulum swings one way, then the next, and the whole thing is just a fantastic spectacle, and the sort of thing that you would say to a young kid who wants to learn how to box, go watch these fights. It's one of those situations. two fights for the ages, I think. And I want that third fight to happen. But of course, if Beterbiev is getting a bit worn around the seams, yeah, there's always that chance that he might be aged out. At the age of 40, you could argue, well, maybe Bivol's lot were hoping that they would be aged out by now anyway. And in the second fight, it did strike me that it reminded me a bit of Tyson Fury against Usyk in the rematch. Beterbiev against Bivol is that Beterbiev and Fury didn't seem like they could quite fight for 3 minutes of every round, which might be an age thing. I don't think it's a conditioning thing. Could be. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. Because, and of course, they were up against two exceptional champions. Bivol is a brilliant fighter. Usyk's a brilliant fighter. So there's no shame for Fury and Beterbiev to lose those fights. There's no shame at all. They did lose them, but there's no shame in that. They faced great men, great opponents, and you could only give your best. And I think both those guys did give their best. It wasn't quite enough. But I did notice with both Beterbiev and Fury in their last performances that they were slowing down just a little bit. Maybe the gas tank wasn't quite as full as it had been. Both have a very good, punch recuperative powers in the case of Fury and punch resistance in terms of Beterbiev. That doesn't seem to have gone in Beterbiev. Although you could argue that Bivol isn't a particularly big hitter. He doesn't try to knock you out. He just tries to land combinations and maybe stop you. But I honestly think it is a ticking over fight for Beterbiev, and I'm desperately hoping that eventually he will face Bivol a third time, but within the next year, because at some point he's going to, even though he lives the life, age is going to catch up with him. And also it'll be intriguing while he's still relatively young enough to see him at cruiserweight. I think Beterbiev versus Jaya Patai would be a fantastic fight. Absolutely fantastic. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, there isn't a belt on the line for this proposed fight. We don't even know if it's going to be 10 rounds or 12 rounds yet. But this is Deon Nicholson's chance. Can he take it? We will see. We will see. So if you've got any thoughts, please leave them below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We've got plenty of videos for you. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. The sun is zooming in through the blinds. Can you see me? I can just about see you. Thanks a lot. Support the channel. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, and I will speak to you soon. And bye for now.